Bitcoin is dumping hard in the beginning of the week, and we are seeing even prices below the $75,000 for Bitcoin. So this is insane, and this is what happens on Black Monday. We can also see the S&P 500 is dumping hard, and this is all because the Trump tariffs are taking place and we are seeing a huge trade war around the world. So in this video I'm going to tell you exactly what we can expect for Bitcoin and what the kind of news is coming into the market, because we are seeing a huge red start of the week. So please like the video, and now let's dive right into the charts. So as we can see on the charts, Bitcoin is dumping hard, and we are even seeing prices below the $75,000 in this morning. So we came from this huge level around above the $83,000 last week, and now we're seeing a huge decline. So we're already seeing a dump of more than 10% for Bitcoin. So this is one of the worst Mondays ever in the history of Bitcoin, and this is called Black Monday. And also we saw a huge amount of liquidations coming into the market, and we saw more than a 1.37 billion liquidated from the cryptocurrency market in the past 24 hours. So this is insane, and a lot of people are losing money right now. So what are you doing right now? Are you still panicking, or are you looking for opportunities to buy more? This is exactly what I'm doing. I'm looking for some opportunities to buy more crypto in the coming days, because I think soon we will see a big reversal happening, and these are the times of extreme fear where you want to see and look for opportunities to buy more crypto for the long term. And also, if we have a look at the S&P 500, we can see it is dumping really hard. And also the Chinese market opened today, and it was very bad, because we saw the stock market fell 10% over there, and this is also of course the worst day of trading since 2008. So let's see what will happen in the rest of the day, and especially when the US markets are opening. So for now we are seeing this huge bearish retest was unfolding. I discussed this with you in my previous videos about the S&P 500. We fell below this important horizontal support. We made a bearish retest, and from this bearish retest we are seeing a huge dump to the downside. And of course this all is because of the Trump tariffs from last week, and the markets are reacting right now. So this is a huge crash for the stock market, and from the all-time high we are already seeing a 21% decrease in value. So these are the times to look for opportunities, but of course we also have to be a little bit cautious, and we have to wait for some reversal signals. So for now this is actually looking very bearish. And looking at the Bitcoin chart of the 50-minute time frame, we can also see that the Bitcoin opened the CME gap around the $84,132, and that was around here on Friday night. And we are seeing that Bitcoin traded around this level during the course of the weekend, but then the Chinese stock market opened, and also the Japanese stock market opened, and we saw a huge decline. We also had the Nikkei closing its markets, and also the stock market of Taiwan was closed. So we are now seeing a huge decline. So keep in mind that the CME gap is still open around the $84,000. So this could also mean that we are going to see a reversal this week, and that we eventually are going to close the gap. And that of course will be a little bit more bullish, but however these are the uncertain times, and this Bitcoin chart is now correlating huge with the S&P 500 and the other stock markets in the world. So of course this CME gap is still open, so eventually I think we will close the gap, but we have to be a little bit patient of course. And zooming out to the 4-hour time frame, we can see this rising wedge was unfolding in the last months, and I've been discussing this rising wedge formation with you in my latest videos. So we saw this rising wedge was unfolding. We saw a price squeeze of Bitcoin. Eventually we broke down the support, we retested this previous support as resistance, and from there you could have entered the market in a short, just like I expected, and just like I told you about on my socials. So we're now seeing a huge downwards move. But as I'm always saying, the downside of this formation is the breakdown target for Bitcoin. So this formation of this breakout target has been reached. So of course we could also see that Bitcoin is dropping below it, but we can also see a little bit of a bounce to maybe see that the breakdown target was reached, and that we have to see a reversal next. So keep in mind that I was talking about this potential breakout target for Bitcoin around the $76,000, which has been reached right now. And looking at the Bitcoin monthly and quarterly returns, we can see a very interesting and also negative first 2 quarters of the year. The first 2 quarters are looking very bearish, and this is the worst half year after the Bitcoin halving ever. And of course, if we are looking at the Bitcoin monthly returns, we can already see 3 consecutive red months. So this is extremely bearish for Bitcoin. But however, after some red, there could also be some green again. So for instance, if April is going to be red, we could maybe see more interesting inflows into May and June. But however, we are still at the 7th of April, and we could also see that April is going to turn green eventually. So yeah, let's see what will happen in the rest of the month for Bitcoin. And zooming out to the daily time frame, we can see this huge formation was unfolding. We saw a price squeeze of Bitcoin. On the top side, we saw multiple touch points here as resistance, and on the lower side, we saw multiple touch points as support. Currently, we are breaking down of this huge formation, and we are seeing this bearish move unfolding. So keep in mind that we could all the way come back to this previous support to test it as resistance, and from there we could maybe see a bearish retest unfold, and that we have to aim for lower prices. But of course, we want to see that Bitcoin is going to show some strength and eventually breaks above this huge resistance, and then see the reversal we are all waiting for. So for now, Bitcoin is at this lower side support, and if this daily candle closes above the support, we could still be very bullish, because then we could maybe see the start of a big reversal happening. But for now, we are breaking down of this huge formation, so keep in mind that the bearish move is actually still going on, and that we are eventually still in this huge downtrend for the Bitcoin daily chart. And also on the daily chart, we can see this huge resistance area is unfolding. So for instance, if Bitcoin can break above this huge resistance area, we could potentially see a bullish retest. We could retest this previous resistance as support. From there, you can enter the market in the long, and then we can aim for higher targets. And then the breakout target to the top side will be confluent with the top side of this formation, and that will bring Bitcoin all the way back to the $108,000 or $109,000. But however, we can also see a little bit of a reversal unfolding, reversal sign unfold, because on the RSI and also on the price chart, we can see this bullish divergence is unfolding. We can see lower lows on the price chart, but we can also see higher lows on the RSI, and this means that the selling pressure is cooling off a little bit, and this could also mean that we're going to see a reversal soon for Bitcoin. So keep in mind that this bullish divergence is unfolding, and a bullish divergence on the daily time frame is most of the times a huge bullish sign for a big reversal on the daily time frame. So this could all happen in the coming weeks, but for now we are seeing a lower lows unfolding for Bitcoin. But of course, this day is not over, and let's see what this daily candle can do for Bitcoin, and if we can close maybe above this huge support area on the lower side. And if we do, then we can maybe aim for this resistance area on the top side again. And last, let's have a look at the Bitcoin ETF flows and also at the Ethereum ETF flows of Friday. We can see that Friday was a little bit of a bearish day. We saw almost a $65 million of outflow for the Bitcoin ETF, and this is of course a little bit more bearish. But if we then have a look at the Ethereum ETFs, we can see a little bit of a bullish day on Friday. We saw a 2.1 million of inflow into the Ethereum ETF, so this was a little bit more bullish than bearish. So let's see what the rest of the week will bring us for the Bitcoin and the Ethereum ETFs. So this was a market video update for today. Please like the video because it will help my channel a lot. In the links in the description you can find the links to my free Telegram group and also to my Twitter and Instagram page. So follow me there to never miss anything. With that being said, I hope you have a good week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.